Alright, let's go with this video. Sean Diddy Combs properties raided by Homeland Security.
When Barbara switched to TurboTax?
I broke 4 generations of family tradition with 5 little...
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs. Let's bring in CNN security correspondent Josh Campbell and CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Josh, let me start with you. What do these raids by federal agents in multiple locations tell you about the seriousness of this investigation?
Yeah, Wolf, a very significant development here, seeing this law enforcement action taking place. I'll point out, just to be clear at the outset, we don't know that Sean Diddy Combs himself is the subject or target of a federal investigation. So it's just worth pointing that out at this hour. But what we do know is that 2 properties associated with him, we saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage, federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. That is it, confirming that they are conducting what they're deeming law enforcement action, which could indicate search warrants being conducted there, could indicate arrests being conducted. We just don't know at this hour specifically what that law enforcement action is. It is worth pointing out, though, that Combs himself obviously has faced significant legal woes in recent months. I'll give you just a kind of the highlights of what actually occurred. In November, he was sued for rape and abuse by a former partner. That lawsuit was then settled very quickly. But in December, he faced sexual assault allegations in a complaint filed in the Southern District of New York. The suit was brought by a woman referred to as Jane Doe, who said that she was 17 at the time when these allegations took place back in 2003. He was accused of sex trafficking and gang rape, among other allegations, also in that suit.
That fool straight said gang RAPE on TV and YouTube tripping? Why is YouTube tripping on us when we say it, but the white man could say it? Oh, nah, bro. That's gotta go, my boy. That's gotta go. Do you guys think there should be a, I don't want to say statute of limitations, but a time frame for you to report a crime? Yes or no? Like, a girl, they say a girl got touched incorrectly when she was 17 in 2003. That is 21 years ago. Do you think it's okay for the girl to bring it up and press charges 21 years later? Or do you think that's out? I think that's out, bro. I think that if you don't bring it up in the first 6 months, you're free. You got 6 months to go tell. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know what he did is wrong. Don't get that shit fucked up. I know it's wrong. But to wait 20 years? Something's going on, homie. Something's going on. Maybe she was scared for 20 years, fool. For 20 years, she sat there, fool, and said, maybe. Nah, bro. I'm not trying to protect Diddy. I don't care about that dude. But to me, 20 years just seems off. So you accept a pervert on the streets? Sheesh, you're crazy. First of all, like I said, I don't care about Diddy. Right? If he's convicted of those crimes, and that's what he is. I don't know if he's been convicted. Right? So for their allegations. What I'm saying is, 21 years later, that seems sort of weird. That's all I'm saying. Because somebody that really did wrong would go to the popos, wouldn't they? Like right away and be like, hey, this happened. Like, come on. Maybe now she sees like, oh, everybody's doing it. Everybody's getting money off this man. He did it to me. Now I want my money too. I want my money too. She could be lying. You know, it's just to get money. I don't know. There's audio of Diddy and Meek Mill doing some dirtbag activities together. Damn. As of today, the feds said it's not about Diddy. Well, there you go. And you just had the guy in here fucking, oh, so you accept a chomo in the streets? I bet you now he's gonna go tell everybody he gonna go to everybody podcast and write in the comments. Blue Devil said he fucks with P Diddy. Dude, shut up. He's probably already writing it somewhere else because I ain't see him in the comments no more. Hey, women don't pay attention to BD. Tell your story when you are ready. Damn, son. 30 years later? 30 years later. New York allowed victims to file lawsuits until November 2023 if the case was older than 2 years. That's why they all filed cases at the same time. Damn.
Two of his associates. Of course, Combs denied any wrongdoing there. And then just last month, a former employee of Combs filed a suit also in the state of New York, accusing him of sexual assault, of sexual harassment, and, quote, grooming. That former employee stated that he had worked for Combs between 2022 and 2023. Among those allegations, this former employee, a male employee, said that Combs did not compensate him for his music production work and forced him to procure and interact with sex workers, threatened him with serving alcoholic beverages laced with drugs to guests at parties at Combs' home. And then Combs' son, Justin Combs, was also accused of soliciting prostitutes and underage girls at his father's homes. Again, the Combs have denied any wrongdoing, but
wow, even the kid?
And then Combs' son, Justin Combs, was also accused of soliciting prostitutes and underage girls at his father's homes. Again,
how old is that kid? 17, right? Is that what he said?
Alcoholic beverages laced with drugs to guests at parties at Combs' home. And then Combs' son, Justin Combs, was also accused of soliciting prostitutes and underage girls at his father's homes. Again,
how old is Justin Combs? Let's go look that up. Justin Combs. Age. 30. Damn, that motherfucker old. Justin Combs is 30. 30. And he was buying prostitutes. Hey, I don't see nothing wrong with that, homie. If that fool wanted to buy prostitutes, so be it. Now, bringing in the underage girls, yeah, of course, come on, that's some dirtbag activities. But if he going down the block to buy a couple of sucias, my boy, handle it. What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the young kids, oh yeah, of course. Lock them up and throw away the key if it's true. If it's true. But these fools are sharing prostitutes? That's sort of weird though, right? Like Diddy and his son sharing prostitutes? That is funky. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know. I don't know. Could you see yourself with your dad? Hey, Jefe, I bought this prosti. I just tapped her in the back seat. You want her? You want her next? I don't know. That seems sort of weird, bro. You know? All that feria still gotta pay for nalgas. Bro, that's the best way to do it. When you're rich like that, pay for all the ones you want y luego allá que se vayan, güey. Done. Get out of here. You know? Te traje unas concas, jefe. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you know? Let's go.
The Combs have denied any wrongdoing, but just a series of allegations that we've seen taking place. Final point, Wolf, I'll note is that while we don't know the specific allegations or why the feds are at these residences, it is worth pointing out the agency that is conducting this law enforcement activity. It's not the FBI, it's not the DEA or the ATF. This is HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. For those unfamiliar, this is an agency that has long been the forefront specifically at human trafficking investigations. So although we don't have the specifics yet, we're starting to we can glean just based on which agency has the lead, the direction this might go. But again, we don't yet know that Combs himself was the target of the investigation, Wolf. We do know that at this hour that federal agents were at two of his homes, both here in Los Angeles and in Florida, Wolf.
Yeah, important points. Joey Jackson, now let me repeat, we don't know if Sean Diddy Combs himself is under investigation, but clearly, Joey, it's not good if your homes are actually being raided.
No, it's not, Wolf. And I think, whatever conclusions can be drawn remain to be seen, right? There's not an indictment that we're talking about. That means that we're not speaking of a grand jury having rendered a conclusion, not as to guilt. That's not what grand jurors do, but as to reason to believe that a crime was committed and he committed them. Having said that, whenever you have a raid and an investigation, these things need to be really predicated upon, right? The precursor.
Hey, it's crazy how this fool's whole world just came crashing down, huh? He went from like living life, being comfortable, to on the run overnight. On the run overnight. That shit is wild, bro.
For this to happen would be some probable cause. What is that probable cause? We don't know. But let's go back to what Josh Campbell talked about, which are those various lawsuits. Now, lawsuits are civil actions in nature. They're not criminal at all. But what they do is they give authorities some guidelines and guideposts with respect to alleged conduct that was engaged in, with regard to who it was engaged in, what activities there were, what it involved. And so that, if there's an investigation, could serve as a source of plentiful information. That information could be further investigated, right, by certainly this Homeland Security Agency. And as a result of that, they can work with their local law enforcement partners. What does that mean? It means that they, collectively, law enforcement, try to determine whether there's reason to believe that crimes were committed and, were those crimes carried out and associated in any way we don't know, with Sean Combs. And so that remains to be seen. But before authorities, Wolf, can get into the home or property of anyone, you have to establish some firm basis to do that. And that is what at least we can conclude, that they had reason to believe that there were crimes.
That makes sense. They had to go to a judge and show the judge evidence of Puff Daddy doing some wrongdoings, right? I wonder what they showed the judge. Like, look, we need a search warrant because he's done these criminal activities. Bam, bam, bam. So he's done something, homie. Who knows what he's done, but he's done something. He's done something. He had to do something.
involving sex trafficking, apparently, and that these areas potentially can give more information with respect to the specifics. And I think they would be looking for computer devices and other devices which would seem to indicate or give information as to whether there was any criminality very early in the process. But certainly we know that these have been carried out, and we'll see what, if any, information is gleaned to be suggestive of any criminality.
Very interesting. Josh, let me get back to you. You know the FBI very well. Under what circumstances would raids like these be conducted?
Well, this would require, if it is indeed a search that's being conducted, it would require federal officers, in this case with Homeland Security investigations, going to a judge and seeking a warrant, indicating that we believe that evidence of a crime could be located in these residences. And then this third party, an independent judge, has to approve that warrant. And then you see take place what's happening now on our screen. I particularly want to focus on, you see that large RV-looking vehicle there. This is the mobile command post that federal agencies will send whenever they're going to be somewhere, likely for a long time. I mean, if you look at these residences, we're talking about very large estates. And so, as Joey was mentioning, something as simple as a thumb drive or anywhere where electronic media could be stored, if it's on that warrant, authorities can search that residence top to bottom, looking for any type of device, any type of storage mechanism that fits within the four corners of that search warrant. Now, again, I'll caution, we don't know specifically why they were there. It does tell us, I think, that just because you see that large posture of all of these federal vehicles that are there, including this mobile command post, this was likely not something as simple as an arrest where you show up and you find a person that you're seeking, but likely more along the lines of a search warrant, which falls in line with what HSI told us in that statement when they say law enforcement actions. That's something that we often hear from federal agents as a euphemism for conducting some type of search. But again, both of these residences, both where I am here in LA, it's just a few miles here from the CNN LA Bureau where this search is taking place. Also in Miami, you see this large cadre of federal agencies descending on those homes. Again, the big question now, what are they looking for? We're waiting for specifics on that as this search continues.
And Joey, video also shows heavily armed agents entering Diddy's home. How unusual is that?
So it's not unusual. I mean, I think that what law enforcement does is certainly they want to be protective of themselves, potentially to deter any type of activity that could occur of a criminal variety. Not that there would be any, but you never know. And so as a result,
people keep saying Keefe D, right? Keefe D. Keefe D could have said something that he knew. He could have maybe said, I'll tell you about Puff Daddy and I'll tell you about his side business if you give me less time. He could have. I mean, I don't think so though. I don't think Keefe D knows that much about Puff Daddy. Because people always saying Keefe, but I don't think so. I truly don't think so. I just saw one that said, hold on.
Shark Flex Style, the powerful hairdryer that's always just a twist away from a versatile multi-styler. No matter your hair type, style while you dry with no heat damage. The Shark Beauty family for all hair kind.
Drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of gun ammo, and Grammy Awards. New images from TMZ show inside Diddy's ransacked Beverly Hills mansion during the coast-to-coast raids where no arrests were made.
People in the home are traditionally detained during raids, so they don't flee, and so they don't destroy evidence.
The rapper's attorney calls it a witch hunt with an excessive show of force and hostility that led to a premature rush to judgment, adding Diddy will continue to fight every single day to clear his name.
They don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
So, where's the 54-year-old now? Unclear, but his jet that traveled to Antigua from LA on Monday just landed in Miami today. That's where Diddy was last seen, reportedly bound for a Caribbean spring vacation with his 2 daughters. Also with him, an associate, Brendan Paul, who was arrested for alleged drug possession. He's been accused in a lawsuit of being a, quote, drug mule for Diddy, but hasn't commented. At least 5 lawsuits have been filed, nearly all by those claiming Diddy drugged and forced them into having sex. Longtime enemy 50 Cent posted that his upcoming docuseries on the allegations is now entitled Diddy Do It.
What we doing?
Fuck, that's
we can't
weird.
Really disclose.
That's weird. That fool likes white boys. That fool likes white boys. Bro. That fool gets touched. That fool gets touched. That fool gets touched. Tell me that fool don't get touched, bro. Tell me they don't touch his booty hole. I bet you they do. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
For alleged drug possession. He's been accused in a lawsuit of being a, quote, drug mule for Diddy, but hasn't commented. At least 5 lawsuits have been filed, nearly all by those claiming Diddy drugged and forced them into having sex. Longtime enemy 50 Cent posted that his upcoming docuseries on the allegations is now entitled Diddy Do It.
What we doing? We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. So I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it.
As the sex trafficking investigation continues, interviews with Diddy's star proteges are going viral, including Usher, who said as a teen, the rapper introduced him to a hypersexual environment he called Puffy Flavor Camp.
You know, hot girls, pretty girls. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for.
Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
What
As I said
the
before,
fuck?
I'm innocent.
Diddy talked to E.T. about his prior trouble with the law, including that infamous 1999 nightclub shooting. At the time, he and then-girlfriend J-Lo were both arrested.
I wish I would have stayed at home.
J-Lo wasn't charged and Diddy was ultimately acquitted, but what can we expect if he's charged and tried in his new federal probe?
Diddy has essentially unlimited funds to defend this case, and I expect him to litigate it very aggressively. Ultimately, I think Diddy is going to be indicted by a grand jury. If Diddy waives his right to a speedy trial, he could potentially push the case out a year or more.
I can't be in this position again. I got to try my best to do everything not to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He has unlimited funds to fight the case. Damn, son. Poor Justin Bieber. The Beeves? The Beeves?